You just walked out of Pure One, Naname Zero, and you've probably got an uneasy feeling in your stomach. Like, damn, question 7 was really tough. I definitely messed up question 6 with that sign error. You've probably texted someone to compare answers, which, trust me, is never a helpful strategy. And I felt this exact way when I wrote my Stats AS exam. So I did Cambridge. It's a little bit different, where you write stats as a separate module. And I thought I did terribly in that exam, like honestly terribly. And to make it even worse, the night before I was like doing super badly on those past papers, but I actually ended up doing a lot better than I expected when I got the final result. If you felt like it was your day, then great. But this is more designed for those who maybe felt that the exam didn't go as planned. So what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to break down 2 quick kind of methodologies that I use to kind of combat this feeling, where the first one I used in university and A levels, and that worked quite well. The second one I only started using later in life. It's more of a general strategy, and to be fair, this actually might be the most useful video I've ever posted, but this other strategy is extremely useful, so make sure to watch the end so you can fully understand it. Let's be honest here, every minute you spend thinking about how paper 1 went, I should have done this, should have done that, that's a minute you could otherwise be spending on paper 2 or paper 3, right, when you're revising. Let's just look at reality here, right? If you felt this exam went badly, which I hope it didn't, but let's say you feel that way, there's literally nothing you can do about this at this point. There's literally no actionable step you can do to go back and like rewrite the exam or anything like that. Okay, so the 2 strategies here. The first strategy is simply to think about the exam like a mission, right? So you've completed the mission, you've done the exam, and now you need to just forget about it. Okay, because the generic advice of just don't think about it is obviously not working, right? So you need to be a little bit more cutthroat with your mind, and this is what, again, easier said than done. This is what helped me at least. But I like to think of the exam paper as a mission. You've completed the mission. Okay, cool, boom, done. Let's move on. And to be fair, this exam actually isn't done because you've still got a second paper. So it's not like the mission is done yet, but you've completed the first objective. Now you need to do the second one. So that's a quick little reframe there that will get you from a zone of, okay, just don't think about it, to, okay, I've got a mission I need to focus on. I need to finish this mission, right? It's got a bit more of a, I suppose, militaristic view on things. Like you've got an objective, you're working at the objective, you've done the first milestone, okay, cool. I'm still laser focused on what I need to do. But now what about that anxious feeling that you get when you're walking back home after the exam, or you're getting in the car and your mind just can't stop replaying it? You've tried the reframe of thinking about it like a mission, but nothing is actually like clicking in your head in terms of trying to get the feeling away. Well, this is where the second strategy comes in. And to be fair, this is not even just applicable for exams. This is applicable to everything in life. So this is going to be very useful, or at least it has been for me, because I had to self-learn this. No one teaches you this in school, and it's really only used by like mental health professionals. Okay, so it's pretty useful. It's a useful skill and methodology to get behind. What I'm referring to here is labeling. Okay, what you need to recognize first and foremost, that emotions are just emotions. They are chemical transmissions that occur in your brain designed to make you feel a certain way. But that they're not always indicative of reality. Because remember, again, we're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's true. Okay, obviously, depending on what you believe in and all that, completely get it. But let's assume that, being hunter-gatherers, right? Your brain was wired just for like survival preservation, right? So your brain had to always be on the lookout for threats, and that's why like fear is such a prevalent emotion, because fear actually is designed to keep you safe. Okay, anxiety keeps you up at night because if you're like watching, there with a spear, like where the threat's going to come from, like fear and anxiety is keeping you alert. So how does this all tie into A-level maths? And I'm going on tangent. Basically, that kind of anxious feeling that you get after the exam, it's not real. It's not actionable, right? There's nothing you can actually do about it because it doesn't correspond to data. What you need to be thinking about now is, okay, cool. Number one, I'm going to label this emotion. I know this is a unhelpful emotion, and I know it's an unhelpful emotion because there's nothing that this emotion is going to help me do from an actionable perspective. Okay, so you label it, you say something like that, you make it very clear that this is just a chemical reaction in my brain that's trying to be trying to make me feel a certain way. It's a byproduct of an era, but it has no use right now. And then you just let it settle. And then you redirect it. You redirect your mind here. And you say, okay, what is actionable? Well, what's actionable here is I'm going to get working because the only thing I can do now is, despite no matter what happened in the exam, whether I think I did good or I think I did bad, the only thing I can do here is study because ultimately that's the only thing that's going to move the needle now. Thinking about it won't help. I can only work in this I can only study now, and that's it. So now I'm probably butchering the whole explanation, but that's, at least from my perspective, what I do to help in these types of scenarios. But I'll link to some resources on this because there's a whole study based on all these kind of techniques, and they're very useful. So that's just a quick one from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Really short and sweet, not much editing, but just 2 strategies that I use at least to help with ruminations. And so that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Not too much though, really. Not much editing. Just 2 pretty simple strategies that I use to basically assist with the ruminations. And, essentially what it comes down to is, number one, thinking about the whole exam process as a mission. So you complete the mission, that's it, done. That's a very helpful mental reframe, right? It's not like a big thing. It's just, okay, achieve the objective, move on. And the second reframe is using more of a scientifically backed like CBT approach, where if you're ruminating, you can label the emotion, reframe the emotion. So you label it, this is unhelpful. Then you say, why is it unhelpful? It's unhelpful because this is just a chemical reaction in my brain. It's not going to lead to anything actionable that's going to help me. And then you say to yourself, okay, refocus. How do I refocus? Well, I'm going to study because that's the only thing that's going to actually help me out at this point. Okay, so you're taking positive action. So that's a quick one. And if you need to, help with logs, for instance, and I've got a few videos, but I've just recently released a full masterclass on logs, which is only available in an exclusive community I've got. Make sure to check out the video link below. You can get that completely for free. So yeah, hope all went well, and I'll see you in the next one.